Christina here, and welcome to the Becoming Wives show, the place to explore the inner work needed to help recover your sense of power and purpose in your marriage. Now remember to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so that you can keep up to date with our weekly content. There's this story that I read in Women Who Run with the Wolves that I want to share with you. It's called Manawee. There was this guy named Manawee who was dating a pair of twins, and the father of the lady said, well, you can get them both to marry, but there's just one thing to it. You have to guess their names. So, of course, Manawee guessed and guessed and guessed every time, but he just couldn't get it. So on one of the visits to the girl's house, he took his little dog, and the dog loved the girls too, and they loved him and treated him well. But again, Manawee couldn't guess the names. So as Manawee went on his way home that day, the little dog really wanted to help. So it ran back to the girl's hut and sneaked its ears through the wall where the girls were there laughing and going on about Manawee. And of course, they called out each other's names. The little dog heard and ran real fast so he could tell Manawee. But on the way, something happened. A lion had left a bone with some meat on it in the path, and the little dog smelt it and pulled it in the bushes and had a wonderful time with his delicious bone. By the time he was done, he remembered that he had a message for Manawee, but he forgot the names. So he hurried back to the girl's house there in the night and found that they were oiling their skins and getting ready. And he heard them talk, and again, they called each other's names. The little dog was just so excited, and he raced back to tell Manawee. But on the way, something happened. He smelled some fresh nutmeg, his favorite. It was a pie. He couldn't resist, and he had the time of his life. He continued his journey to Manawee, only to realize he couldn't remember the names. So again, he had to turn back, and by the time he reached, the girls were there getting ready to marry. He said, oh no, there's almost no time. And upon hearing the girls call their names again, he ran off with the message, determined that nothing would stop him from getting those names to Manawee. On the way, he saw some fish. He smelled something like nutmeg in the air, but he ignored them to get to his master. But out of the bushes came a dark stranger and grabbed him in his neck and shook him terribly hard. The stranger said, tell me those names so that I can marry them. The little dog fought and kicked and scratched and bit the stranger's hand. The stranger screamed as the little dog held on to its hand. The stranger begged, let go, let go, let go. But the little dog held on and spoke through the teeth and threatened the stranger and said, never come back, never you come back. And the stranger escaped. The little dog was now so tired and bloody and weak. He was in so much pain, but he was determined to get to Manawee. He hopped along the way with the names clear in his mind, and he reached Manawee, told him the story and the names. And so Manawee cleaned up his wounds and raced back to the village with the little dog. And when he reached, he told the father the names of the girls, and there they were, dressed up and waiting for him. They received his hand in marriage, and all four of them, the sisters, Manawee, and the little dog, lived happily ever after. It's beautiful, isn't it? I was sweating. I was so sweating by the time that I reached the end of the story, the first time that I read it. But I can't tell you how many times in my life, especially my professional life, I've been the little dog, chasing everything that looked juicy, that smelled good, which ultimately affected my plan, abilities, my timeline. I had tons of ideas, and as soon as I started one, I'd move on to another, forgetting the main goal. I'd be taking courses after courses, always with the intention to get going as soon as this one is finished. Then I'd start another one. I always needed more tools, more time, more money, more information. As you'd already have guessed, I wasn't moving forward. I wasn't gaining mastery at anything. I wasn't getting any significant results. I didn't pause from all the doing. I didn't rest in awareness or pay attention so that I could see clearly. I just kept on doing until I had the oh no moment. Like the little dog, I had to keep starting over. Now, I grew up hearing grandma say, not everything that glitters is gold. Be mindful of the distractions along the way. The things that take your attention off your goals and your priorities, the shiny objects. Now, here are 3 tips to keep in mind or to mind your goals. 1, make a plan and stick with it. Little adjustments along the way, they're quite fine. Always consider if it aligns with your priority and if it's necessary moving forward. Number 2, discard the distractions. Identify the sources where the distractions mainly come from and get rid of them. If you're subscribed to email lists that constantly punch offers, unsub for a while. Watch less TV, purchase less magazines, limit time with demanding company. Only select and keep the things that are really helpful. Quality over quantity. And number 3, let things pass. Not everything is an opportunity, and you have to develop the discernment to identify the difference. Use up the power word no more often. You were placed here for something, and when you find it, go after it with tremendous focus. So this here is your goal. It's not going to be any smooth sailing road. Look out for the bone, the nutmeg pie, the shadow. They will appear in different forms. There's a purpose in this world that only you can fulfill, a message that you have to bring. Go on, run to your source within, listen for the message, take the message, and with blinders on, go on your journey. Ignore the lures, fight the monsters, whatever form they manifest in. Growl, scratch, kick, bite, and with sweat, tears, and blood, hop, walk, run on home to your calling with clarity on your purpose, and share your message to bring healing and hope and joy to those you serve, those whose souls have been waiting for you all along. Now, I hope that you found this little reminder and tips helpful. Remember to subscribe for the amazing content to empower, enlighten, and encourage you on your journey. In the meantime, let me know in the comments if you've experienced the little dog syndrome and how you have or how you are overcoming it. All right, bye for now.